this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. This is our project today. Another little card using the very lovely, if I can find it, Field of Flowers stamp set. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely love it. Not just because it replicates my logo on my my branding. Absolutely love it, and it comes with, of course, if I can find it, the lovely confetti flowers border die, so you get to punch out all these little flowers. I've yet to use this as a border, so you can punch this out and punch all along and get a border of flowers, but I've just used it to punch out flowers and use the flowers for various things. Anyway, let's get on. So this is the third in my series of these cards. So I've used a different method of doing the flowers for each one, just to illustrate how to use the punch. So on this one, I stamped the flowers and then punched them out they were on Whisper White. Stamped them on Whisper White and punched them out. On this one, I just stamped them direct onto the Whisper White card. And on this one, I'm using punched flowers out of coloured card. So you can see the three different effects that you can get with this stamp set. So here we go. Let's just keep that card for reference there. Right, okay, I'm going to use a different colour scheme as always. So I'm going to go with a soft sea foam again, and I'm going to bring in my trimmer. I have to say that since we've had this new trimmer, I hardly use my scoreboard anymore. I bought my scoreboard and I loved it when I had it, but I hardly use it now because I use my trimmer for scoring all the time. It's so good, you don't really need a scoreboard anymore. It's just useful to have because it's got all sorts of measurements on it, but actually I manage without it. So there we go. So using my trimmer scoring blade, do that at 10.5, like so. And I'm just going to bring my bone folder out and burnish this. I'm going to make sure the sides line up and then burnish that into place. There we go, there's my card blank, there we go. And then we need a panel of white and a panel of another darker toning colour. And again, like I did on the last card, I'm using mint macaron for that. And the measurements are, this needs to be 8.5 centimetres square, and the white card needs to be 8 centimetres square. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 8.5. I didn't say, but my card blank is the same size as I always use, which is 15 centimetres times 21, scored at 10.5. It's half an A4 sheet, just about, in the UK. So there we go. There's my square, and then I want a square of white. But before that, I'm going to stamp on my white. I'm going to do the stamping first, and then I can cut it down to the size I want. So here's my square. It's not quite 8 centimetres square. So I'm just going to bring in my piece of scrap paper and my stamp. And my mint macaron, I think. Am I going to do mint macaron? Let's have a think. Yes, I think I like the mint macaron best. Yeah, I think the soft sea foam was a bit too pastely. So we'll use mint macaron. We don't need all of this stamp this time, so I can get away with just inking part of it. I'm going to try, and sorry if you're getting my head in there. Actually, that doesn't look very well inked. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's okay. Lovely. There we go. And now I can trim that down to 8 by 8 to fit in my coloured panel. So I'll do this way first. So it's just a smidgen over 8. And then the other way, it's a bit more. So you just line it up there, and then there we go. And that's my panel. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that to there. Mount that on there with my Tombow. As I said in my last video, I think my Tombow is gradually running out. I'm going to have to fill this up very soon. I mean, get a new one. Get a new one out. go. Gives you a bit of wiggle room, so if you don't get it right, just try and wait until you've got all those borders exactly equal. And then take your card blank and pop that on there. I did toy with doing a smaller square. I might try a card with a smaller square. I think that could be quite sweet. I did said on a previous video, I've loads of birthdays in June, so I'm frantically making some birthday cards for various people, friends, family, my daughters, my sister. So all of these cards I've been making recently will be going off to a very good home. Right, okay, so now we're going to do the flowers. So I'm just going to take my punch. I've already started punching some, but I'm just going to show you. I just took a piece of coloured card, popped it in. It doesn't even matter if it's not big enough to do all the. You could just do the ones you can fit it on. Do as many as you can. There we go. I've got 4 there, and punch. Turn it upside down to punch, otherwise they all fling out of the way. But there we go. Right. Okay. Now what I've done to mine, I've already cut out a load, but also I have been burnishing them with an embossing tool that's got quite a big ball on it. You can do it with a smaller one. I prefer to do it with the bigger one, so that they've got a little bit of dimension to them. And so I'm just going to go and put a little dot of glue wherever I think I might want one. And then I can just come in, I'll finish doing that in a minute. Put my tweezers away, let me get my tweezers again. So just mix the colours up, and the colours I'm using today are Highland Heather, Coastal Cabana. Oh, oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, Coastal Cabana and Highland Heather. No, Highland Heather I've done. Gorgeous Grape. So those 3 colours again. Highland Heather, Coastal Cabana, Gorgeous Grape, Highland, oh, let's do a Highland Heather there. Do a little one. And then Coastal Cabana. And I just need a couple more spots here. Maybe 3. We'll carry on. I'm using mostly big ones here. Now I've run out of big ones, so I'm just going to take a Gorgeous Grape and burnish that. I've got a little bit of foam here, and you just go in circular motions until all the petals pop up, so that you get a little bit of volume on that. So let's pop that there, and we'll have a little Highland Heather one, and we'll just do one more big Coastal Cabana one to finish that, and then I'm going to see whether I feel I need any little ones filling in. I feel I need a little one up there, and I need one up there, so let's put one up there. What colour should we do? Let's do Gorgeous Grape. There we go. There, I think that's enough. Pop them back on there. Use another time. I'm collecting got a lot of confetti flowers building up now. And then in the centre of those, I've put one of our pearls. So, now I've got my pearls out somewhere. What did I do with them? Oh, there they are. Okay, so I've got a little bit of Tombow glue on here. So what I'm going to do, because sometimes the self-adhesion on these doesn't work particularly well. I've had them fall off. So just to make sure they do stick, what I sometimes do, especially as this is going through the post and might be man-handled quite a bit, take them off and just put a little bit of Tombow on the back of them, and that will just help them to stick. So you've got the self-adhesive and you've got a little bit of glue there. So hopefully, you don't need a lot, you don't want it billowing out from them, but just a little bit of glue. And just, it's quite fiddly. You could use your take your pick tool to do this actually, if you wanted to. Would be quite a good use for that. I use my tweezers a lot when I'm quilling, so I'm using my tweezers. So I'm just so used to using them. Someone the other day asked me where I bought my tweezers. They're actually from Hobbycraft, but I think they're a firm called Creative Quilling. They are actually quilling, but made by a firm that sells quilling materials. And they weren't very expensive actually. I think they're about £3, not very expensive at all. But I love them. I've actually got 3 pairs because I'm always putting them down and then not knowing where they are. Oh, this one's sticking to my finger. So I have 3 pairs, so that I've always got a pair to use, and then when I tidy up my desk I find them all over again. I don't know, so as soon as I tidy my desk up, as soon as I start crafting, it ends up looking like a real mess again. And then my husband says, you spend half your time tidying your desk, and it's true, I do. But one of the hazards, I guess. I do try and keep my craft room fairly tidy. I am going to do a craft room tour fairly soon. I keep putting it off because really I'm waiting for it to be decorated before. It's not quite finished from when I had a refurb about a year ago, but of course I can't have anyone in the house at the minute to decorate, and certainly not able to do it myself, so I thought I might as well do a craft room tour as it is, and then you can compare and contrast when I finally have it finished and get someone in to decorate. There we are. There's my little field of flowers. And then we need a banner going across here. So I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to tie the Gorgeous Grape in with the flowers down there. And I'm going to do exactly what I did on the other cards to do the banner. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy and the stamp from the gorgeous Blossoms in Blue stamp set. Really love it, so really pleased with that. Love all these greetings. And then I am going to stamp as close to the bottom of this piece of card as I can, trying very hard to keep it straight. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Sorry if you've got my head in that again. I have to be right over top to do the placement with some of these, and I can't avoid getting my head in the way of you and me and the camera. There we go. Just knock that off. So useful having my embossing powder in these containers, because it means I don't have to bother about doing it and putting it back again. It's one of my more inspired ideas, that. Right, I've actually got my chair on my cable of my heat gun. There we go. Right, and then I just need to warm this up. There we go. Wait for it to start melting. There we go. Can you see it going? Brilliant, isn't it? Whoever thought of this? What a good idea. But if it was up to me, it would never have been invented. I don't think I've got a creative mind like that. Right, okay, so then I'm going to bring my trimmer out and then trim that down. So I've already got it trimmed where I want it there. I just got to trim this side down as well. So you could do this on your trimmer. I use this little cutter. It's not available anymore, I'm afraid. Look out for it. I'm hoping that Stampin' Up might bring it back at one stage. With the they did a tote one year as a celebration reward, and then they did bring it in to be purchased at one stage. So I'm hoping at some stage they may bring the tiny little cutter back, because that was a celebration reward this year. But it's been so useful. I can't tell you how much I've used it. I wasn't very keen at first. I thought, yeah, it's too small. Who's going to need that? I've used it so much. And later we're going to be getting 2 new cut and emboss machines, and one is a little mini one. So I'm looking forward to that as well, because I'm hoping I can have that sat on my desk as well, instead of hoiking my great big one. and that will be a joy as well. Right, so I'm ready to put my banner. I did the banner there, sorry, I was talking as I was doing it, as I've done it before. So on one of my other videos you'll see me doing that. So I just cut it to the length you want the ends of the banner, cut up a little slot in the middle, and then cut to the middle there. And I'm going to glue this one straight down, not on dimensionals. And I'm just going to smooth that out with a cocktail stick. So trying to use very, very little amounts of Tombow if I can. And that is going to go here. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. There we go. And then I am going to use my little dragonfly. So you can see I've just done a few little dragonflies here just to fill in the space. Doesn't really need anything. You could get away without it, but I quite like it with. So I'm going to do them in soft sea foam, I think. Or am I going to do them? I might do them in mint macaron. Let's give it a try in mint macaron. I know I've done the stamping in mint macaron, but let's tie that in with the dragonflies. So I'm going to do kind of a pair. So I like having triangles in design terms. If you have three of something, it takes your eye to the right places on the cards. I'm going to do two together up here and then one over there. So I'm going to do one facing that way. One, do it slightly further over, and then I'm going to do one over here. There we go, and that's that card finished as well. And what I did inside this one was I just stamped loads of dragonflies and then added a white panel in the middle there. Might do that with that one, not sure what I'll do in the middle of this one, haven't decided yet, but I'll keep you posted. Okay, right, that's me for today. Please, couple of things to let you know. If you've watched me all the way through, thank you very much for hanging around. 2 or 3 things to let you know. At the moment, Stampin' Up have a special offer that if you have an order of £200, and I know that's an awful lot of money, but if you spend £200, you'd get £40 back. You'd get £40 on top of that to spend for free. So if you've got a long wish list, you get £20 back anyway, so you get 10% of what you spend over £150. But then you get an extra £20, so you get £40 extra to spend if you spend £200. We also have a brilliant joining offer, which is that if you buy the starter kit for £99, and you can choose anything from any of the catalogues up to a value of £130. But at the moment you can get a free bundle as well. So you could decide to buy this bundle. It can be any stamp set and dies, or stamp set and punch. You could decide to get this free bundle with your starter kit, so you could get this absolutely free. But there's loads. I think the most expensive bundle is $55.75 or something like that. So there's quite a good incentive to join Stampin' Up at the minute. And the last thing I want to tell you about is my 2-for-1 sale over on my blog. Go to the top navigation, there's a button that says 2-for-1 sale, all the details there. You buy one thing and you can choose anything else from the sale absolutely free. So you buy one, get one free. And if you want to buy more than 2 things, I will always adjust it so that you get the best value. So it's not that you buy 2 expensive things and get the 2 cheapest things free. You can buy an expensive thing and get the next one free, and then you buy the next one. So if you see what I mean, I will do it like that. So anyway, that's it from me today. Enough gassing. Lovely to have you join me. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you all watching my videos, and I will be back very, very soon. Probably still playing with this stamp set. I can't get enough of it. Anyway, that's it from me today. Thanks very much. Bye bye.